p.m. in Abu Dhabi. It should be 7:40 p.m. in India. And today is our 203, session number 203, weekly session of our WeAreOne group. And the topic of today is resolving identity conflicts. Basically, we will answer the questions earlier posted into the group by Ronita. So we'll go one by one. So this question is a good question. It means genuine questions. Like when you undergo this process, then something comes within you, and you want to find the answer. This is a very good. That it should not be. Many times I have seen some questions which are like a copy paste or something. Somebody else's question then. But it is in these questions are really genuine. It is coming from came within. It can be seen that, and I will go through one by one. Okay, so let us start with our first question today. Is okay. What I little bit change to make it a little more communicative. Ronita, you have the questions ready with you?
Yes, I do have the question.
Or you open the group. So you ask the first question, I will reply the first. And like that, we'll go ahead in today's thing. Okay? So go ahead with the first question. Yeah.
Okay. So the first question is, does the conflict between the individual and the identity lead us to make uninformed personal or professional decisions?
Okay. See, there are this individual and our identity. This depends upon which one we call myself individual and which is my identity. Okay. Personal and professional decisions in practical, in physical reality, we have been programmed from the birth to take these decisions by our mind or our memory, our own practical experiences, which in spiritual terminology, that is actually our ego. So this, when you say the individual or your identity, it depends upon which you are identifying with. So what I'm saying is, initially, we identify what we call me is basically meant your physical existence, your identity, your name, your designation, your relationship, and all these kind of things. So that is your identity. And those are identities are all our identity of our ego. Ego means the operating system, what we need to in the external world. There is nothing wrong in that. Means that is the individual level, that is the thing. So whatever decision we take, that comes basically from the ego. Actually, before coming into the spirituality, ego is actually play the role of a boss. Many things. It is whether it is a professional decision, personal decisions. It searches the memory and says the similar kind of thing happened somewhere, or gives its own logic. Logic is a faculty of mind. So it is our own logic or intellect. It applies there. And finally, our ego stamps it, and then it is published, or we take action accordingly. So here the ego plays the role of a boss. So fundamentally to answer this question, the conflict between individual and the identity, that is basically the conflict created by our own ego. It is nothing we are importing from outside. Because what we call an individual and our identity is strictly based on what is defined by our ego. So in that case, uninformed personal or professional decisions, if you say uninformed, we should say not uninformed. We can say it is a limited information. Our mind cannot process, the actual truth or the bigger picture, or it cannot contain more than a certain amount of data. Okay, so we process the information of the data, And so it has got a limited capacity. So based on the limited, data and limited processing power, it takes a decision. So it is not uninformed, but it is like low informed, or it is not fully informed, partially informed based on that. And that is why we see a lot of decisions we take personally or professionally that proved out to be wrong, or we proved out to be meet with a lot of resistance, or sometimes it is self-harming. Later on we regret that we have done or said something which actually now when the rebuff comes, then we cannot handle them. We didn't expect that this will play out in that way. So these kind of things happens because we have a limited capacity to understand the world, understand to know the truth, and have we don't have the full picture or information. It is all about the image which is created by our ego, that based on that we take a decision. So that's why it is most of the time we find that it is not go as per our own wish or the way we expected. Okay, that is the one. But it is a different matter completely when person becomes spiritual. They can come over the control over the mind and then go beyond ego. Ego is become a servant, no longer a boss making the stamp. Yes, that's the right thing to do. Because ego makes us subjugated. All our decisions, ego runs based on the three tools ego has, based on which it runs us. Initially, I'm talking before spiritual power comes in. Those three are, I told earlier also, but let me repeat as the topic has come. Three things are, it controls us by fear. It creates a fear in us. If I do this and then something wrong will happen to me, or if I don't challenge the person, then I can be harmed later on. So let us challenge it and finish it off first. In this kind of thing. So either it is a fear, some kind, or it creates a doubt in our mind. Is it correct? Is it the right thing to do? Maybe the other thing to do. Then we become indecision making. So it cannot take a right decision. And then third thing is that it logically convinces us whatever the ego is telling, that is the best way forward. Logically, it convinces us. But I call it is this kind of, when we take this kind of decision based on the logical stuff, we convince ourselves. If you see over the period of time how it played out and fall out and things like that, not immediately maybe it will be, you cannot see what is the actual repercussions of that. So in the longer period of time, you will see that whatever we logically taken, that kind of decision was logically things that ultimately either it doesn't matter, or we oversensitize something, or maybe we took little bit of showmanship or superiority stuff, like I'm better than others kind of thing. It moves in that direction, not really what need to be done there. So in this aspect, when we repeat it. Sometimes we do few things and become successful in doing that, Then maybe those kind of trick, we become a greater trickster. And then we actually, this part is still okay. As long as we know that it is a trick and people are fools, so I'm winning. But after a certain time, what happens is that we ourselves start believing it is the truth, and there is a fault line. I call this phenomenon as a self-conning. You self-con yourself and believing in something which is not the truth, or at least not the full truth. It is a half truth. So half truth is a little knowledge, dangerous thing. So this kind of thing. And then when everything goes wrong, then we have another technology like blaming others and all those kind of things. That is a different issue. But anyway, that is your answer to the first question. Okay. So go ahead with your next.
So the second question is, do we tend to consciously or unconsciously outsource this conflicted part to anyone in our immediate surroundings? Which is, for example, a wife will outsource it to the husband, a son to his mother, etc., and vice versa.
Answer is overwhelmingly yes, because our Ego doesn't want to take the responsibility of the consequences. Okay. So again, it logically convinces us that it is a good thing to do if we can just, when the time comes to take the responsibility of whatever you said and done, it is better to export that or delegate that or distribute that among others so that it doesn't get. So that is kind of mindset. So this particular aspect, not taking the responsibility of, the whole thing, take the ownership of the thing. It's a typical characteristics of our ego. So answer is definitely yes. It will take anyone who is there because ego has a superiority complex. It doesn't want to lose. So in the bargain, when the time comes, even it is okay to pass it on to wife or husband or siblings, brother, sister, or even the parents or colleagues or relatives or friends. It's very common. This is how ego survives. Just by manipulating the system, manipulating the society, manipulating the family, manipulating the environment they're in. So that is very common. So that's definitely it is a part of the ego play. Yeah. Okay. Next.
Okay. So the third one is the idea of complete self-dependence, which is financial, physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual for a human being living in any society, culture, climate, region, etc., a myth?
No, this is a good question, but actually there are so many things mentioned there. They are all in the different category. Okay, so let us see if I can give part answer to each. Okay, financial, physical. Okay, let us start with that. The idea of complete self-independence of financial and physical of a human being living in a society, yes, it is definitely possible. And that's what we should strive to do. Earlier days, we talked about that self-respect, right? Here, to maintain the self-respect, you should be having the independence, financially and other things. It is a key. It is extended to the social matter as well. In the society, nobody will listen to you, or even whoever you're interacting listen to you if you are dependent on something or somehow, someone and all those things. Yeah, they have been seen as a lower category. So to have your say at least, so to lead to maintain your own freedom, maintain your own self-respect, you must have your own, financial and physical freedom. Physical freedom means wherever you like to go, you can go. Whoever you like to talk, you can talk. Whatever you like to eat, you can eat. And this is the physical freedom. Okay. This is one of the fundamental nature of our human being. We want it to be free. Energy thing, I will come a little later. We want it to be free. That is our fundamental nature. That is why when the human society has developed, the way of punishment is put somebody into jail, the confinement, the physically restricting the movement, physically restricting where they can go, physically restricting what that person can eat, physically restricting to whom to interact, and all those things. That is the same, things has been developed. So from where it is coming to this punishment in the jail, just taken the physical freedom out of that person. That's it. That itself is punishing because it is against our normal nature. I may choose not to go anywhere. That is my choice. Yeah. Just understand that. Somebody doesn't leave their home for every months. That is their choice. Nobody is restricting if they want to. Okay. But if somebody is jailed, it's not possible to go out as they wish. You have to apply at least, take permission, or make the arrangement for a limited visit out or whatever. So this is the one of the thing that is in the fundamental nature in this external world. So the complete self-dependence. You mean dependence or independence? Complete self-dependence or independence? What you actually meant, Janita?
Self-dependence. More than independence, I mean self-dependence.
Okay, depending on my own decision and all those things, yeah?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay, all right, okay, fine. So that is about the first two. Then next two top points was emotional and psychological. Okay, this is the emotional is faculty, but basically driven by our the mental, which is inside. Whatever other two we discussed, financial, physical, it is outside. Okay, so our outside freedom, outside them. This area of the psychological area, it is actually we are also like a freedom of thought. We have thought has a huge amount of power, and our intelligence play, and through our thought we take something. First, it is said that anything is constructed twice in this world. First into this. First into this mind, and then it is finally produced into the world, the physical world. So in that case, that our what is the condition of your self dependence or your emotional, physical, like a physical and mental state is very, very important there. Like if yourself is not self dependence, you're psychological and emotionally you are not stable. Let me put the other way to explain it better. If you're not stable, if you're psychologically not stable, then you cannot take the proper decision, and that will impact your action, your activity in the world, your contribution to the world, or in other words, the success rate or whatever. Your own like a happiness or response to the world will be completely different. You yourself is not taking care of your emotional and psychological health. Yeah. So in that sense, that yes, answer is yes, it depends. But this area of the faculty also runs by our ego. So this most of the time, our ego plays a big role in which psychological or emotional state we will be. I'm giving an example to understand this. Suppose that one person that somebody told this person, he's a big cheat, and he had some story to you about one person, and you are meeting that person for the first time. So no matter what that person at that moment, that person may be innocent. He's not said or done anything which is cause or intention to cause any harm to you, but because you have that background, maybe you will be psychologically under like a pre-treated or psychologically biased towards this person. So when you interact with it, your emotion will go high. You cannot interact with maintaining your calm, having those informations available. Somebody said to you about that earlier. Maybe that person who said about this said about him may be wrong, or maybe try to manipulate you. It is there some kind of game, but as you have heard it, so that your emotional thing will be not stable. You cannot interact with the stable emotion. So maybe you will get angry, or it can be fearful. You will be behaving something odd. You will be thinking which way that person will harm me. Okay, that will come in between your interaction with that person. In fact, that kind of interaction, it will be spoiled, because you are completely biased and you are emotionally not being able to handle that, whatever it is. I'm not saying that the other person is completely right or something like that. What I'm saying is because it's all about you. Your mind, it is there. So your approach to whole thing will be completely different. Yeah. Okay. All right. So go to the next question.
So the fourth question is, if our childhood does not prepare us for the life that we are required to live as an adult in an ever-changing...
No, sorry, Ronita, 1 second. I think you have another point. Yeah, spiritual. Okay. Yes. Sorry. That is, you have the spiritual, that last point. Yes. I'm still on the third. Yeah.
Okay.
So for a human being living in a society, culture, climate, region. Okay. Now let me give you, already we talked about the physical, the physical, financial part of it, then psychological, emotional part of it. Now let me give you in the same thing, perspective of the spiritual. Yeah. In the spirituality, when it is energetically, we are sovereign. Like we have everything what we need to operate in this world or even beyond. Okay, we have everything. It is all we are connected with. So in this respect, we need not to depend on anything external world, what they're doing and what they're saying. Your power will come, even all those things what you mentioned there, like living in a society, culture, climate, region, all those things, yeah. Whether it is a myth, it is not a myth. But thing is, our mind projected it something which is not true. So we are earlier running behind some kind of image. As I given the example of that person meeting you. So you are basically reacting to the image, not actually the person said or done anything. Okay. This image building thing comes when you don't have the actual connection to your own power. Spirituality is the first time it makes you introduce it to yourself like a higher power. Okay. And through that, your higher self, you get connected to the reservoir of all the truth. Brahma Gyan, you have the huge amount of power you can download through it. The power of consciousness comes into the play. So in that, if whatever your external faculty, like if your so-called ego or the mind is under the guidance of your spiritual higher self, then that combination works perfectly because it has all the knowledge. It has all the power. It is only you are representing that power into this through the physical body into this external world, and that's it. So then it is the life will be smooth and all those things. It is not a myth. And the last part, first part, yes. Myth, it is not a myth. It is the truth. What you want to realize, you want to awaken to the truth. Otherwise, it becomes elusive. It becomes a dream. So, but it is the truth. So that truth has to play its own, and your awareness level have to go up to that level, whether you will be aware of everything through the power of your own consciousness. Yeah? Interestingly, as the power of consciousness came, now you have seen there are a lot of in the debate is going on about artificial intelligence. Yeah. They can take the job, they can write it on your behalf. In fact, I've just seen many videos are being created, but with somebody's voice, somebody just reading, but reading is so-called so perfect, that even the spiritual stuff, they are saying somebody is telling that, after your death, this will happen, that will happen, but then you invoke the energy of these things. So it is a good tool, to have involved the artificial intelligence to read something. Maybe somebody has written something long back, but now it is good to see some pictures and, nice mountains and some spring comes out, butterflies flying here and there and some background music and somebody is telling this. Yeah, but that voice is created by artificial intelligence. Yeah, it's just a reading. There's nothing wrong in that. But only thing is, the artificial intelligence can create the voice, create everything, but it cannot give the power of consciousness. Okay, that's why if you listen to any live master, okay, what you will get, same thing, maybe same script, the transcribed and created by video and artificial intelligence created a voice, you will not get that connection because the power of consciousness is missing there. You can artificially create intelligence, but you cannot artificially create consciousness. Means all natural thing has a consciousness. Even all animals in the birds and insects, all of them, they have consciousness because they're naturally born. Even, I'm going to that extent, even something of those are artificially created, like test tube baby. Still they have a consciousness. Because the product, what is come out of the whole process, maybe the process it is manipulated, but ultimate product is not artificial. It's not a robot. It is actually some baby. then consciousness enter into that. Okay. But all the other things, and when the person, say, suppose that person wants to test tube baby, say, wants to go for the spiritual path and getting elevated themselves, getting the connection, they will get the power of consciousness. That energy will be passed on. But same thing for any video or something with that artificial intelligence created voice will not have consciousness. You will not get. You cannot, by listening to it, you cannot come to the meditative state. Okay. Yes, there are some music and all, certain vibration will make you meditative state. But this thing, as the power of consciousness missing into these voices, that will not make you like that same effect like that. Okay. All right, let us proceed with that. So it is clear, all this physical, financial, psychological, and out to the spiritual. Spiritual is a completely different dimension. That's what I explained at the end. So it is not a myth, but it needs to be attained. Before it is attainment, it is elusive. It doesn't exist. Many people, they live their whole life, no spiritual experience possible. They operate from lower 3 chakras, like Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, that's it, not beyond that. Their heart chakra never opened in the lifetime. Many, in fact, more than 95% people are like that. They never experience anything of spiritual in nature because their heart chakra didn't open. They didn't practice anything, spiritual practices which can open that. Okay, all right. So just in the context, I told you that. Go ahead with your next question.
So the fourth question is, if our childhood does not prepare us for the life that we are required to live as an adult in an ever-changing world of myriad complexities, compounded by our own personal issues, can guidance from the guru, sadhna, spiritual practice, etc., change our orientation towards life itself?
Very good question. Okay, these are the different parts into that again, this question. Good question, but let me address it different way, how it plays out first in general, not exact. I'm not answering your question right now. I'm just giving the background. Then I will come back to your question, exact specific question. When we take birth, okay, a baby first 6 months of the time is a completely under the divine guidance. They take care of everything. Okay. So when it is connected, they're protected, or all the things they pick up that time. Yeah, means who teaches the baby to like a cry, or who teaches how to drink milk? So those are come from the already built in or already come from the connections directly. Nobody need to teach them these things. The babies first 6 months. Then up to the 6 years of age, that is our learning period. Like we learn through trial and error, every human being and all those things. And here, the nearest teacher we find our parents or the family people who are there, So in that case, we like a child up to 6 years, roughly, nothing is fixed. I'm just giving for understanding purposes. Roughly in that stage means before 6 months, 100%. Okay. After that, it is given to some extent, some protection. Okay. But the child is exposed for a learning the basic thing, how to operate into this world. But still they are connected. So in that time period, like they are like a, what is called sponge, like absorbing everything. So what they do, they pick up what is available nearby. Mainly the parents, what they see the parents are doing, they try to copy them. See what are the interactions, type of discussions going on, and try to understand the best way possible up to their intelligence level. So this is some kind of learning period for them. They learn walking and then running and then playing, and the friend, and what is the meaning of friend, what is the meaning of relatives, close relatives, and all. If they have sibling, brothers, sisters, they learn that. Yeah. After that period of time, when that period is almost, after 6 years or so, then what happens is the teenage starts. Okay, the teenage period, this original, the divine connection was completely cut off. Why? Because initially they learned the physical thing, how to survive, how to talk, how to, things like that. And I'm still talking about the childhood, and that is the time, whatever they learn, later on, that becomes, we call it some pattern, we call it childhood conditioning. Because that is it is a sponge. If the sponge, if you put it into the soap water, it will take soap water in. If you put oil, then it will soak oil. If you put it into some soup, it will absorb soup like that. Okay, so it will absorb whatever it gets around, and those are the times because it is need to be. I should not say about the vulnerable, because it is by design. So nobody is vulnerable in that, but it is like open to learn anything. So whatever you feed, they will take it. They don't have the judgment, good, bad, and all those things, ultimate good, bad. They don't know. They just learn from the looking at others and things like that. Yeah. Anyway, so when the teenage starts, then the consciousness is completely, not consciousness, that connection is taken off by design. Why? Because this is the time their actual personality development comes. They develop their own personality, because everybody comes with a unique characteristics, unique intelligence, unique gifts, or also unique karma, set of karma. All these start playing that time. Starts, yeah. As the divine connection is no longer available, most of the time you will see, basically not available means they have to find it out. All of us, we need to find it out, because out of our free will. So full free will, but no connection. So in that stage, you will find that many cases, this is the period of time, say from after 6 or 7, 8, 9 years up to the 14, 15, 16 years or 17 years maybe. This is the period, the teenage period. We will see the lot of, lot of this kind of children, they undergo some kind of rebellious type of tendencies. They rebel with the existing thing, what they don't like, and they show tantrum. There's emotional tantrum and this and that. And sometime who has that, most of the parents that time become too much, worried about their children, because their behavior is they don't listen and this kind of stuff, very common. They don't listen because they wanted to establish themselves into this world, and they don't have that connection left. So there is no guidance there. The backup guidance is not there. And they are full free will in full into play. And that is the time they wanted to explore hundreds of things, but of course, the parent, they cannot allow them to do it because they don't have the experience, and they may be, become hugely dangerous for them. So parent want to restrict, their movement, or to whom they should meet, to whom, where they should go, what they should eat, what they should not eat, and things like that. They don't like it because it is against their freedom of choice. And that is where the rebellion starts. All those kind of things that start. So that goes on till on the verge of adulthood. In the adult, by the time they are, and parallelly, of course, they need to study and all those kind of things. Their future depends on that. So those are also there, and the pressure of the study, etc., is also part of the thing. They are changing their characteristic and so on and so forth. But when they become adult, then all they get back that their own, choices of their own lives, and that is the time they choose further down the line, their whatever the way they wanted to work and things like that, where the parental control is not really needed after that, and it comes down. So this is a whole background of that, and then that is the time also a lot of our karmic thing comes into play. Our own karma things that comes, and based on that, our several things happens in our life, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, it started happening. And through that, we keep on going ahead with our own experiences of life. That is adult life. So there is no such rule there. Different people play out in different things, and then further it takes over. Means these are the stages. Now let me come back to your specific question that if our childhood does not prepare us for the life that we are required to live as an adult. Okay. See, it is basically what, as I explained in general. So childhood doesn't prepare us means who will prepare you? Okay. So whether you mean the family or parents or your school or the society and all those things, they are doing their job to the best of their understanding. Okay. You are a unique being, human being. Okay. Your requirement is unique. Your intelligence is unique. Your understanding is unique. And you have chosen to come to this plane, earth plane, to experience it by yourself. You have a different goal. So not everything can be taught. Yes, basic education, and initially the parent, as I've explained, to make you safe, they should give like a roti kapra makan. That is the basic necessities will be provided. Yeah. But not every liking or everything you wanted to know can be provided. Okay, to you. You have to look for it, search for it, and get it. So which may not be possible in the teenage time, and so later on, whenever you go up, when childhood time, sorry, in the childhood you will not get all those things because you are looking at the world from your own perspective, like your own window. Not everybody look at the world from the same window. Okay. That's why whatever you need, you may not get it. Slowly, we try to understand that through experiences, and some of the child, or if they have more siblings, say 4 or 5 brothers, sisters, and all, so they learn some few tricks. Okay, how to get the thing what they want. Okay, they can manipulate others, and this is the tricks they learn. Yeah. How to get whatever they want, but normally directly they don't get it because they are not in a position to do that, demand that and get it done. It is very, very hardly something because they have not the full picture. So that's why not everything they ask they will be given. So whatever in the childhood does not prepare, and means it is up to you to prepare yourself. Yes, in the childhood you will be given basics, but anything specialized you need, you have to wait till you come to your at least your teenage, or if not then adult. You have to choose and pursue that on your own. The complexity combined personal issues and all. Okay. Next part, you are saying that compounded personality, can guidance from the guru, sadhana, spiritual practice that change our orientation towards life itself? Of course, yes. It is a life transformation. Okay. It is a completely different world. Only thing is, you have to come to choose the path yourself. You need to, at least you have to go and knock the door yourself. Unless until you knock the door, it will not be opened. As I mentioned, 95% of people, they operate from first 3 chakras, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipura, and that's it. Their life ends. There's no spiritual experience. Quite possible. No guru come, no spiritual master teach anything to them, primarily because they are not interested. Most of the people, their life is eat, drink, and be merry. When I eat and drink means I'm not saying alcoholic drinks. I'm saying just khao piyo mauj karo type. This is the type of life operate from first 3 chakras. Like basic necessities, then your pleasures and other things, the 2nd chakra. And 3rd chakra is ambition and the power and all. That's all. You'll see played out everybody. Yeah. So anyway, so this is the type of thing that in the spiritual, when the spiritual one chooses to start working the spiritual path, then that is the time we call a seeker. They're seeking something. How they seek, it comes from the different background. Sometimes some major, mishap happens in somebody's life. Then they come into this. Sometimes they got so bored into the normal life they come. Sometimes they got fed up with the society, particularly the double standard of the society. So, and the masks the people wear, they got fed up with that, they come here. And sometimes when they reach to ultimate goal in their life, then they realize this is not what they're looking for. Okay. Then they choose, so where it is then, if it is not here. Suppose they want the power and money and fame. Say, suppose all of them, they got it. That's why you will see that many, Hollywood movie stars, etc., they become spiritual much later part of their life. Okay. So they got the name, fame, and, wealth, everything. Yeah. So why they have to choose? So that is also there, So they come from the top down. They also come something like that. Doesn't matter. But sometimes it just one fine moment one realizes that what I'm doing here. Okay. Who am I? What I'm doing. That's it. When that question internally, arises, then start seeking. That's all possible. And when you start working, then all the spiritual tools will be given to you. Because all of these are happening because how we perceive the world. Earlier also sometimes I explained our life is not out there. Not people are doing this thing with you. Not everybody is, behaving funny and you are not getting whatever you wanted and all those kind of things. It is your perception. Whatever you need to leave, that is sunlight, all energy come from the sun, sunlight, air and all these things. It's fake. Okay, you breathe. But extra things, what you want, that sometimes we don't get it, and all those things, then all of the feeling comes up that we are not, like poor me syndrome comes up. Okay, and I am only deprived. Everybody is getting, I am not getting anything like that. So that also start asking these fundamental questions: why it is like that. Okay, then also people start searching the answer. They come into the spirituality. But when you seriously come and knock the door of spirituality, you will be given all the tools that I little bit earlier, but I just diverted to somewhere else. What they teach you fundamentally to control your mind. Spirituality is all about controlling your mind, basically controlling your ego. Ego is a root cause of all the problems you face in the external world, even the internal. Okay, they don't allow you to go further. No. This is wastage of time. We'll see when I get old, nothing to do. That time we'll think about spirituality. This kind of stuff. Now, this thing, when in the spiritual path, you will learn that how to control your mind, so that the path to the further your own higher self, which knows everything, is not to go anywhere else to beg. You have that. Only you don't have the connection. That part you need to learn. Spirituality teach you that, how to do that. And also how to bring the power of consciousness in your life. That the all spiritual masters, they teach how to bring that power. And that power, it heals the power, it heals not only your physical body, your situations, your life get healed. Because those kind of, what are the deficiency, those comes through that power of consciousness. That need to be learned. That part, the spiritual practices, those practices called Kriya, spiritual practice. Okay? One of any spiritual master, they will teach you some spiritual practice that is called Kriya. And whatever you learn here, that is called Nirmal Kriya. Okay. That will be making you to have the active connection with the power of consciousness, so that energy flows through you in your life. So that's what only thing you need to learn there. And after that also, that master, spiritual master and guru or something, after your life is changed, their job is over. then you have to have the connection, run your own life. It is called inner guru awakening. Then definitely your inner guru will guide you whatever is in your best interest. And that is the perfect, the way to lead a life. Okay, there is no good and bad there. All we are here for the experiences. We have done a lot of karma and all those things, came here to experience those things. But experience and, subtle and all those kind of things. But only thing we're missing, have the power to withstand that with the storm. Spirituality give you power to withstand the storm. It will not stop the storm. Because you have chosen at that soul level to go through this process. Yeah. Only thing is that rather than you get shattered with this kind of storm, it will give you power to hold on. The patience, and when the storm is over, the resilience to come back. All those powers, you have it. Only if you don't have the connection, so you have to go and beg from the people and all those kind of things. And when they go and beg anything from anybody else, most of the time, they will exploit you. They will cheat you. So spirituality is only thing which is internal and nobody can take away from you. Once you have it, okay, then nobody can take away from you. So that is where the spirituality change your life, because your way of looking, your life get completely changed. You don't see the poor me syndrome or something happening wrong to me. No. You say, I'm just experiencing few things in this lifetime. That's it. Few things here and there, ups and downs. Something, they like, dislike, everything goes there. And then you become a completely different thing. Nothing can touch you. You are just, floating above it. Nothing can actually touch you. And you finish your life completely fine. But only thing is, all spiritual principles and normally whatever I teach, no harm to anything or anyone. The moment you harm anything, thought, said and done. Okay, thought is a little different to implement, but at least whatever you say and do, that definitely you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing. Yeah. Make sure there is no harm to anything or anyone. Then you will finish your life perfectly fine, spiritually elevated and all those kind of things. But if you do that, then again, there will be maybe some karma is built. You have to come back and to face those consequences of those things. Yeah. So whatever you gain on this, that will go or maybe stored back till you finish this. We call it detour. And it can be multiple detours, maybe few other lifetimes to come and to settle whatever thing we have done. Mostly we do this kind of detour based on what is called our selfish interest. Selfishness, this is the typical characteristics of this external world. Selfishness is not there into the higher dimension. But here is so much selfish, this particular world is, so we thought that is a normal and nothing wrong in doing something for us. But more you do the selfish thing, less you have a chance to spiritually evolve. You see the masters, whoever they have understood this, they have completely gone out of their self-interest. What they do to help others, help others, taking care of others, healing others, imparting knowledge to others, and all this kind of comforting others. And sometimes they become a dustbin. People keep on dump their own problems to them. Yeah, they happily accept it. Okay, even though they don't have to. No? Why should I take your shit? Why you can? But they don't do that. Because they are compassionate. The thing is, they have come to the level of consciousness. Whatever the divine wants to do for the people, they become a divine agent and do on behalf of divine. So then, all the life, whoever they come in contact with them, their life also changes. But looking at the example, they say, look, no matter what problem comes, that he or she, the master, doesn't get, baffled by these things or try complaining and, shouting and become angry and all. How come? I want that, the peace of mind, that is very rare commodity in today's world. And people get jealous when you see somebody is having full peace of mind. Okay. But masters are already into that, in full peace and fully connected. I think we have now not much time left into this session. So the rest of the questions will go into the next half. Okay. So I will send another link. So we will catch up into the second half of the session. All of you, see you into the other half.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam RPA.
Pranam Monica. All right. I think most of us already back. So, okay, Ronika, go ahead with your next question.
Okay. So, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
So the fifth question is, can our source of security in reality be our source of insecurity as well? Do we need to rethink about our sources of security?
Good, very good question. Okay, then the obvious question is, which is your source of security? Okay. If your source of security is your, property, your bank balance, your education, or your family, and all those things, this is your security. Then, yes, those are certain form of security, but they are, as the nature of external world is always, it is changing. Some situations can change. Something may happen which you didn't plan or didn't foresee that can happen, and that will change the whole dynamics of your life. Suppose suddenly some people loses their job, or some, like we know that pandemic came and some death happened in the family, and all the dynamic changes. No? Suddenly the whole life, whatever you are thinking as a security, that changes, because those are that shatters somebody's life. That if those kind of thing, life-changing kind of thing happens, or maybe earthquake happened, the whole house has broken down. What do you do? Okay, insurance and all, they will come, and maybe, whoever has some experience with this kind of insurance thing, it may go into the court and can drag for years to get that money to, even if that is got, that may not be enough to build the house. I'm just saying, So whatever we do, the security and all those things, that is, we can do at a certain level. Beyond that, it is beyond our control. Okay. We need to do something like, saving for the rainy day, they call it. So those are fine, good thing, good practices, and we have to maintain good relations so that in case you are in need, you can get help from your relatives, or your family will be there behind you. And like that. So if you have, but wherever you live, it should be having some good medical facilities. If you need to have, like, consult a doctor or thing like that. So those are kind of things you need the resources of the society to give you that particular type of help you need at the time when the requirement comes. But so this is about the physical level. Okay, so these are the normal thing, and we need to, protect our physical body. Physical body includes our health, our mind, and the intellect and all. We need to protect it in the external world. One of the principle of WeAreOne group, we have given principles. It is there in the Facebook group. The first principle is operating principle into this world is protect physically. You need to protect yourself physically from any adversities. It can be a threat of some unhygienic thing. You are eating some food which is not hygienic. Okay, there is a risk there. You have to protect. Don't take that. Or make sure whatever you have, your house and everything we have a proper security. Not that some thief comes and taken away many things from your house. This kind of thing. You need to protect physically. Whatever you have, physical thing, and you need to protect it. That is a part of that principle. So, but the thing is not that. This question is basically about your security. Insecurity happens is when the element of expectation goes into it. Particularly the security, insecurity comes with the expectation that I expect this during, say, if I'm not, I'm not physical health is because I fall sick, then you expect that certain people will take care of you. Or if you say, lost money and because of some reason don't have a job, your business is, business is not doing well, or, gone, financial trouble, but somebody will save you, or some source, maybe some government scheme will save you. These are your expectations. Okay. So whatever you save the securities, that may not play at the time when you need it. It is all your expectation. No? There's nothing wrong in that. You did the arrangement, but whether actually the arrangement will play out when you need it, it's difficult to say. A lot of people are involved and their free will are involved. Somebody may behave just opposite when the crisis comes when you need it. Okay? Like at the turncoat or whatever you call it. You know the Chanakya sloka? Chanakya sloka, you are aware of that, Chanakya?
I'm aware of Chanakya, but I don't know which sloka.
Understood. But you heard the name, you
yes,
heard the name, right?
Of course.
Okay. The one of the Chanakya sloka is the Pustakastha Tuja Vidya, Parahastagatam Dhanam. Just means Pustakastha Tuja Vidya means whatever the knowledge in the books. Parahastagatam Dhanam. It is your money, but it is somebody else's hand. Maybe another person has taken from you, borrowed from you, or you have been deposited into some scheme or put it into some business or even in the bank, somewhere you deposited, but it is still not with you. Parahastagatam. It's somebody else having it. So the first line says, Pustakastha Tuja Vidya and Parahastagatam Dhanam. Means whatever the knowledge in the books and the money in somebody else's hand. Second line says, Karyakale samutpanne na sabidda na tadhanam. Karyakale samutpanne. When the need comes, Karyakale samutpanne, when it arises, need arises, na sabidda. That knowledge in the book is useless. And na tadhanam. Even that money, what you have in somebody else's, that will also become useless. Okay, so the whole sloka, 2 line, it says, the Pustakastha Tuja Vidya Parahastagatam Dhanam Karyakale Samatpannen Na Sabidya Na Tadhanam. Okay, there is a wisdom behind it. Okay, so basically we have to understand what we are expecting, that help will come from certain, it may not be. If some people are involved and they have their own free will, they can turn their back. Okay, there comes when the expectation doesn't meet, then you fall into that category of what you mentioned, that security become actually the source of insecurity because it is not in your hand. Somebody else is deciding. This is about the external world. Our internal world, before it becomes spiritual, internal world is our mental world. And who is governing our mental world? It is our ego. Okay. Sometimes but we do something, we think this is best for us, but we landed up into trouble. Because earlier part in the beginning, I said ego doesn't have all the information. Ego doesn't have the full capacity, full power. It doesn't see what will be our ultimate good. It only sees in the immediate thing or selfish motives. It can only see that. But in the bargain, we may fall into bigger trouble. So in inner world, mentally, whatever we think as our, what is our source of security. Okay, say your intelligence. You think that I'm intelligent, I will take care of any situation in life. I'm intelligent. Same intelligence, when some situation comes, even if you apply your intelligence, you will see you are not giving desired results. You don't know why. Maybe our more frustrating is maybe the same technique is worked for 10 times before, but the 11th time when you need it most, it is just not working. There's no apparent reason, no logical reason why. Just not happening. That is the time your confidence, you will lose the confidence because it is based on your own intelligence. So this kind of matters, then it becomes whatever we depend upon, our own ego, our own power, physical power, mental power, intelligence, and all those things, acquaintances or bank balance and whatever. It doesn't take much time to change that scenario. Okay. Something can happen. You cannot do anything. Simply. You cannot do anything rather than you have to, whatever you thought that it is your security and all, you have the confidence on your own intelligence and all. Nothing wrong in that, by the way. Having confidence on yourself is a good thing. But it is 100% not secure. So this is about the external world and your faculty you will have. The externally, internally, both are into the same situation. Then comes the spirituality. All those things, the security, the issue, why you need the security. Because there must be some harm. You have to protect yourself from harm. When all those things, whatever I just discussed earlier, they lose its power. Because one of our, own experiences, we test everything till its, break-even point. When it actually breaks, we don't know what to do. There is no backup. Intelligent way of approaching backup we call plan B, plan C. Okay. But there can be some situation, all the plan, A, B, C, D up to Z fails, all fail. You just simply cannot do it. That is the time you realize what is the shortcoming of our power of our intelligence, power of our self-confidence, and so on and so forth. Self-confidence without the spiritual connection, I mean, I'm not talking the power of consciousness, I'm just power of your own intelligence and all, it becomes a liability. Because you cannot accept that so-called defeat. It doesn't know how to face defeat, how to accept maybe somebody is better than me. It cannot accept. But everything is possible when you go into the power of consciousness. Okay. When you become the spiritual, invoke the spiritual power, all these things make sense. You may not get exactly what you want because they will not bring the security as just I explained in detail. But if you have the connection, you will pass through. No matter what. Many things can happen. The synchronicities can happen, and you didn't logically. There is no point in having something, but you will landed up some situation. Things are happening for you. That is not possible to get logically. You see maybe you will get some help of some unknown quarter. You will say suddenly somebody came and helped you out. This cannot be logically, and this cannot be by programming. You cannot secure it. It has to happen. Means there is some divine forces working, and you have to just tune into that. So, in spiritual terminology, security means when you have full connection with the divine, moment by moment. You need not to bother about your future. Every moment you are connected. That's it. Insecurity comes when you get the connection go. So insecurity comes when you lose that connection. So in that case, not the spirituality, but the connection is a source of security and source of insecurity as well. If you lose it. Okay, this is about the spiritual understanding of that. So if you're undergoing, so now I'm giving a little bit of tips to how to deal with it. If you're having some trouble with all those things, some people say, yes, but last few days it was terrible for me and all this. Just check your connection. You may not be connected enough. That's it. You just start with a little bit practice, just get the connection back. Things will sort out by itself. You drifted. Connection was there, still there. Okay, if you feel that it's not going as the way you think it is, and expectation should be controlled because you don't have a capacity to know the outcome. Those things will give you connected and all the power you need. Amar Jyotiji said, we have ourselves, we have a lot of, we called it actually, programmed a lot of problems and obstacles in our life, the part of the experience. So whenever we take birth, we have everything in the program. These are the things we'll face in this lifetime. Yeah? But Amarjyoti ji was telling, you never born with some problem, but you don't have the power to control it. See, that is the truth. You are born with it. Only you didn't tap it. You are looking somewhere else for the help. You have that power. You bring that power out when you are facing those kind of challenges. It will be true. That is your self-power. That is the self-worth. You need to discover it. It is like some jewel and into the covered with the dust. You have to remove the dust to get the jewel, and so that it can, glow as per its own, worth. And that kind of, all of us, we have that. Only thing we need to know how to get rid of this unnecessary things, which is, fallen onto top of it. That's all. Anyway, so this is the approach. So when you connect it, you are fully secure. All the masters, they're 24/7, they are connected. That's why they don't feel insecure. What is to be insecure about? I'm giving the other perspective. Nothing in the world, first of all, world is not mine. It is an illusion. This is mine, that is mine, my house, my car, my family, and my job, my business, and these are all illusions. You are here, you are doing, you are just performing, you are acting in the role of something, that you are doing your best, whatever possible, and things will come. Okay. And only thing with that connection you have, whatever ultimately the connection you have, no matter what it comes into the life, it will be true. True means it may not happen the way you think, but it will happen in your best interest. But it should be. That is why it is said, go with the flow. Flow of what? Flow of life. You do whatever you can. Not whatever you think you should be doing. Just do whatever you can. At this moment, I can do this much. That's it. This will take you. Life will take you. If things has to come to you, it will come to you. Okay. By the divine plan. Okay. That is divine timing. Not when you look for it. Or we want it. No, it will come as per because when you are ready, only then it will come. Otherwise, you will not be able to handle it. Okay. So this is the answer to your question. Okay. Next.
So the sixth question is that which is better from a spiritual point of view, ambition or aspiration?
Ambition and aspirations, these are all of the third chakra, Manipura. It deals with that. There is nothing wrong to have ambition, nothing wrong to have aspirations. Okay. Only thing is that, again, it is a ambition, security and insecurity stuff. So you don't depend fully on your ambition. That may or may not happen. Okay, good to have an ambition means it is like a compass. You just need to go. Nowadays, there is no compass. You have the mobile GPS. So at least you know the direction, which direction you have to drive. Yeah. So that is fine with that. You go ahead. You walk the path into, whatever you aspire for. That is absolutely fine. But the thing is, I'm just telling you something which is experienced truth. Okay. No matter what your ambition is or aspiration is, unless until you are passionate about it, it will simply not happen. The X factor comes from your passion. Doesn't matter which line it is. Suppose ambition is you wanted to be a CEO of a company. Okay. In our group also we have many CEOs. But anyway, suppose you have that CEO of a company, that is your ambition. But the thing is that you give it a try. But unless until you do have the elements of the passion, to go to that level, go to the top, take the responsibilities. Then not only you have to take responsibility of maybe 50, 60, 100, 200, 1,000, 5,000 people, their future. That kind of responsibility. If you are not passionate about it, you will not be able to reach there. Some small minor thing happen here and there, it will fall down. But if you are passionate about it, what is passion? Passion means certain things you do by which you forget the time. That is the measure of if you are passionate or not. If you're doing some job, if you forget our time, maybe 2 hours gone, you don't realize you are so much engrossed into that work. That is your passion. But if you say, okay, when it will be over, and then you don't think about those kind of ambitions. It will never happen. You may thought that I wanted to go into that level, but actually it will not happen. You don't have that kind of passion within you, like a fire within you to reach there. That is a fuel. So many people ask me that whether I'll be successful. I got this job offer, that job offer, or I wanted to, maybe my child wanted to go into this subject, that subject. Fine. No subject is bad or absolutely good in that sense. Okay. Maybe some job has a better prospect into the, in the professional area, like they have a better high paying jobs and things like that. Yeah, possible. But fundamentally, those are there in their own place. Everything in our life has a success. If you go to the peak of that area, you'll be successful. Even people playing can be successful. No? There are actors, there are many things. Even doing the normal, somebody just say selling potato. Okay. They can be rich by selling potato. But do good at it. Be good at that. You can be richer than many other, the people by selling potato. Okay, that's all possible. Choose anything, but only thing is what makes it to break that glass ceiling. The X factor is your passion. Okay, so in that sense, there is, I feel there is no such thing called ambition or aspiration itself is a good or bad. Itself is neither good nor bad. I'm now giving spiritual perspective. Ask yourself whether you have that kind of passion to achieve your ambition. If the answer is good, go ahead with it. You will get it, only a matter of time. But if you're chosen that ambition because somebody else told it is good, or that is the best paying job, or that is, I have seen many people happy, they are enjoying the happy life, I can also have that. No, that is your borrowed ambition. But I'm talking your inherent power to reach there. Whatever area you have that inherent power and that kind of, compassion, the drive, that will give you success. That will take you to there, into that one. So spirituality wise, it is okay to have the ambition, but unless until you have this compassion, passion actually, and spirituality adds you to that compassion power. Like you cannot walk alone. Certain point of time you need help and support from others. So you need to understand the dynamics and behave accordingly. You should have a good empath, like who can feel what others feel. Then they can become successful. If you are walking the spiritual path, you have a huge amount of sensitivity. Okay, you will be able to understand that. You will walk. You will take everybody with you, and ultimately you will be successful because you are not moving ahead at the cost of someone. If it happens, then that someone, some point of time, it will rebuff and you will fall. Okay, so those are the dynamics. But in general, it is good to have that ambition, or good to have what is called aspirations, but make sure you have that fuel to take the rocket there, your rocket. And that fuel is your, that passion for that work. Okay. So that's your next question. Go to this is what, 1/6 then? No, there one more. Okay.
This last one.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the 7th and the last one, the last question of this session is it possible for one individual to be both the anchor and the boat in a dynamic construct?
Okay. Mm. But anchor of what? Their life or
life,
what?
Life.
Okay.
In life. Yeah.
Mm. So, as an individual, we don't have the power to be an anchor. Okay. We don't have. Okay. But we do have a boat, and boat flows. Actually, it flows with the flow of life, like a river. That's why the go with the flow came. But as we are in the boat, we also have a free will. So we can drive the boat any direction we want. Okay. So sometimes, as we have a free will, we can, some river is flowing that way, we just try to sail on the upstream. If that happens, then we lose a lot of our energy. We cannot progress in our life because we are upstream. This is also related to the ambition stuff, what I explained. If your ambition is not aligned with your flow of life, your soul's plan and your passion for that work, it will simply not happen. You are wasting your time and energy. You're meant for something, your life is planned for something, and you are going this opposite. So what will happen? The boat, you try a lot of effort, a lot of energy you will waste, you get exhausted, and boat will not move. It will be standstill. If that is the situation, you call it anchoring, it is not an anchoring. It is just wasting time. You are pushing it in another direction, which you are not meant to be in this lifetime, to go in that direction. Yeah, if it is already in the soul's plan, then whole river will flow in that direction. You need to bother. You have to simply float or be into the boat. Not to throw too many tantrums. Be peacefully in the boat, do whatever you can. It will take you there, whatever has to happen to you. Means whatever is already planned for you. Okay, so this is how it is. So we cannot be an anchor, but we can play the role of anchor and waste our time. Better to go with the flow. Just you manage yourself enough so that boat doesn't sink. Don't be so much adamant ki, no, if it doesn't go there, I cannot allow you to go anywhere else. Yeah, and that is the formula for sinking. Okay, forget about anchoring and moving. You will be sink and the whole life will end. Okay. So this is how it runs. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
All right. Okay. God bless you. Good questions. Okay, Vani. Yeah.
Guruji, sorry, it was a really good session. Thank you. I just wanted to ask, knowing that we don't have any control over the outcome, we still prepare so many times, and then we ask experts if we don't know all that. Most of the times, 80% of what we try to get prepared is of a wasted time. But still, if we don't get prepared, we feel as though we didn't do enough homework. Mm-hmm. So how do we actually draw a line? Or just sit back and just, expect whatever it is, or be prepared, where is supposed to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, knowing what is our soul's plan, where you are supposed to be, it is a high level of spiritual area. Mm-hmm. You don't know. what actually it is planned, unless until you come to the spiritual level when your soul's plan is exposed to you and you have access to the fifth body and so on and so forth. So in absence of that, if you know it, then matter ends there. Means you know, okay, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Okay, you should not try. It's okay. So, but if you have certain things, then you can try. You should prepare for it. Whatever it needs, it will come to you. So then see what Amarjyoti ji said, what I explained. You have all the tools within you.
Okay.
So you don't have to go anywhere. Prepare means you have to be confident that I will get it whenever I need it. I am ready. That much you can do. You cannot take that whole thing forward, but at least you're ready. Maybe it is not, everything is not in your hand. Like my Guruji Prem Nirmal used to say that the rocket will come sometime to take you to the moon. Your only job is to get the astronaut training, wear the suit, like astronaut suit, and be ready. When the rocket comes, then immediately get in there and we'll go to the moon. So your role is limited to get trained and get ready with proper attire and things like that. Same here. In your life, you don't exactly have a full control where the rocket will go and where it will land. But make sure when that opportunity comes, you are ready to grab that opportunity, and that much you can do. You should not miss that. So your preparation limited to getting into that opportunity. What happens, we'll see.
Okay.
That is a divine plan that will play out. But you may make yourself ready so that you should not be so, in vibrationally speaking, you should not be vibrating so below that even something comes, you are not able to get into that.
Yes.
Then you miss the opportunity. Or sometimes it is not, it may not be physical. Your mind tells you, oh, it is not why now, maybe later we'll see and all. Maybe later never comes. Okay, it is you who just let go that opportunity. Okay. These kind of things. So whenever you get the opportunity, get it.
Okay.
Don't think too much. Whether you are doubtful, whether you have all the power or not, that's what I given, what Amarjyoti is, you do have all the power. The misunderstanding that I don't have enough power, I don't have enough competence, I don't have enough knowledge to all these things, it will take care of itself. Don't bother.
So basically, it's a human nature that we try to overanalyze stuff and try to blame others and all that. So okay.
Yeah. See, there comes this is now what you are taught. That is expectation management. We blame others only when whatever we want that didn't happen, or the result didn't happen. Particularly, what I call it didn't happen in the time I thought it will happen. Maybe I thought within 2 months I will be there, but it didn't happen. So we got frustrated. But actually, it may happen after 2 years. Who knows? Only I lost my patience so that it didn't happen anyway, because I lost my patience. So if we can accept the masterly approach, the spiritual approach is in equanimity. The loss and the gain, both. If you don't get frustrated with the loss, otherwise don't get too much proud with your achievements. Both can be troublesome later on. If something comes, very good, welcome. Enjoy, but don't too much make it big thing out of it. As I was mentioning earlier in one of the questions, today's question session, that you will see the sum, maybe you think you are supposed to get it this way. 10 times it will work fine. 11 times suddenly it will not work. You don't know why. Then by the time you thought, okay, this is the way, I know the tricks how to get it done. But we are not. That's what it says now, that I'm not controlling the things, controlling somebody else. Yeah, I'm just executing. The moment I'm getting that ego that I'm controlling things, then this kind of thing happens. to make us realize the truth. We don't have everything in our hand. Okay, so that is the thing. But originally your question is whether we should prepare ourselves. Of course, yes. Your intention matters, because if you have a positive intention and you are giving your best and all those things, fine. It didn't happen maybe now, but it will happen. No knowledge, no effort goes into vain. Only thing is a matter of time. It will come to you at a divine timing. You have to trust that process. If you didn't get something what you aspire for in that particular time, it does not mean all your preparations were wrong and you don't deserve it. You do. Only thing, the timing was not correct. It will come at divine timing when you are ready in all respect, even to handle that. Sometimes many other things we don't foresee it is coming. Maybe some problem, it comes with that. We are not foreseeing it. Earlier I used to give one story of somebody wants to buy a Mercedes, and he got some huge amount of money and got a Mercedes. Suddenly he got a big money from some business, and he then go out with his Mercedes and very high speed, 200 km per hour on the street, met with an accident and both legs gone for the whole life. So that means whatever you wished for, that Mercedes, if it, because of some reason, didn't have money or they don't have that model or whatever be the reason, if he didn't get his car, he could have been saved, those two legs. Divine knows it. Divine wants to warn us into all these things. Yeah? So trust that process. Okay. Trust that process. It will definitely, all the time, whatever we want, sometimes we should not get whatever we want. Not everything is good for us. Ultimate good, I mean. Immediately, yes. Immediately getting it, whether if it is okay, it will make you happy for some time. Like nowadays, we order any food you want. No? Just take a call and these things, it comes and delivers on the door. It's fine. But the thing is, whatever the joy of getting that food, slowly that diminishes. No? Suppose few times if I'm looking for some food, I'm not getting it. Maybe we have to, when I go to India next time, I will have that food. That has a different charm. And if it comes in the next minute, after a few times, the charm of that food will go. Okay, so for our greater interest, sometimes it will better not to have something immediately. Okay, anyway, this is the broader picture, but you do whatever you think, but you control your expectation. You said, okay, fine. If I get it, fine. If I don't get it now, it is also fine. Let the divine takes his own course. That's it. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
God bless you. All right. Any other question? Okay, fine. So if there is no other question, so we don't have much time left today, we'll go into Kriya and little bit of meditation. Okay. So sit straight and breathe in and breathe.